I'm also live on YouTube, by the way. Anyone on TikTok? So just getting everything situated here. Just a second. To everyone or anyone on YouTube, hey, it's Brian at Break Trade Repeat. Welcome. Today is Tuesday, November 25th. It's 10:38 a.m. And I'm just getting the chart up for everyone so that we can take a look. And I'm going to share it with everyone as well. And where is that? There it is. Let's see. Copy that. Go over here. Stock splits. Stock twits, post this over here. Gotta breathe, gotta breathe. Bullish, breathe. I'm live there, that's done there. I just posted on stock twits, gonna post on X. Post over here. Give me 1 second, everyone. I'll get right to it. Hey, everyone on TikTok, what's up? I'm about to do a live on YouTube on this camera, on TikTok on that camera, and we're going to talk about IXHL Healthcare Inc., or IXHL. I'm just doing a little bit of housekeeping to let everyone know I'm actually here. So I can get anybody that has any questions and stuff like that. Talking about almost done, guys. IXHL. IXHL. There it is. Great. Okay. Boom. That's done. Posted there. Everyone's welcome. Let me share the screen so we can get the chart up. Close. Share. Chart. Share. Okay. Here we go. Close this. Go back here. Okay. Hey, Chengi can't say that. Hi, how are you? What's your name? So I can call you by your name, because that's a hard name. Should I call you Che? C-H-E? Thanks for coming. Can we do a quick sound check? Can you guys hear me? Can everyone hear me? Anyone, please type in the chat if you can hear me. Chen, what's up, Chen? Thank you so much for coming. Hey, David. Doing well. Hey, guys. Okay, so great. Excellent. So I just want to do a quick little bit of a talk today on what we can expect. Well, not, you never know what to expect, right, in the stock market. As usual, we're always talking about, with me anyway, I'm always talking about IXHL Healthcare Inc., or IXHL. 3 global assets that are in phase 2-3. We got IHL 42X, obstructive sleep apnea, first ever oral pill. You don't have to wear the mask. We know that. That's our number 1 asset. PSX 001, general anxiety drug in phase 2 as well. It's a synthetic psilocybin and combination therapy. Very exciting stuff there. There's this new study came out, Monash study. And also we have a rheumatoid arthritis drug as well. And I always forget the actual drug name on that one. I don't know. I get nervous or something when I go live. But that's a huge addressable market as well. Like, we're talking $50–60 billion in addressable markets. So that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about IXHL, IXHL Healthcare. The stock today is currently trading at, and if for everyone on TikTok, you can see it here. It's trading at 0.3316. And, a few days ago, last week, the price got slammed down pretty hard to the lowest it's been in a very long time, which was 0.3009. So that's about 30 cents. It didn't crack that 30 cents, that liquidity zone of 0.3009. So that was as low as it went. So you have to ask yourself, okay, so it went that low. And if you look at the chart, you can look at the chart and you can see it. Was it Friday? Let's take a look. So And this is what we're going to do today. I want to get everybody on the same page. I want to try to help people, and you'll see in a second how and why I'm going to help you. Okay. So yeah. So that was on the Friday session. We went down to, that's a 0.3. No, it was even, maybe it was Thursday. There it is. There she blows. See this? So this right here is 0.30. It went even lower the day before, right? Or no? Okay. So I call it 0. Look, let's just put it this way. The stock went down to almost 0.30, 30 cents a share. It didn't quite make it, right? And that was, what day was that? So this is today. Okay. So that was Friday. On Friday, it was, the stock was being pushed down, and it still didn't crack that round number of 0.30, 30 cents a share. So this is pretty bullish, in my opinion. What that means is this was a big move by market makers or whoever. I don't know. You never, it's like, it's the market makers. No, it's the shorts. It's the bears. It's the institutions. It's, who knows who's doing it? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's being shorted, this and that and the other thing. There's massive positions in dark pools that nobody wants to cover. And yeah, it's true. There's tons of accumulation. But what they did on Friday, because of the macro news and the Fed chair at the time saying that he was going to, that there was not going to be a rate cut. Remember, it was a 49% chance. They take the news. Whoever is against the stock, they take global news, macro news, and they short that news. And they tried to get it down, and that's as far as they could go. And they couldn't even crack 30 cents. Okay? It made it almost to there. Because they wanted to get down there. You know why they wanted to get down there? So that they could click your stop losses. Because you have stop losses at 30 cents. They know it. And they tried to go down there and pick them all up, but they didn't get us, right? I don't have stop losses at all, but I'm another person. I'm playing on house money, so I don't really have to. I'm kind of risk-free at this point. I don't have the greatest position, but I am risk-free. Okay, let's take a look. Let's get this chart back in the, because I want to talk to you guys today about some research I did this morning, and I want to try to stay buttoned up and realistic. And I also want to warn people that aren't familiar with how to trade catalyst on penny stock biotech, like Inconex Healthcare, and not just like Inconex Healthcare, like Joel Latham. Okay, because Joel, the CEO for Inconex Healthcare, if you haven't figured it out, has dumped millions of shares into every single 8K, any kind of material update. Millions of shares have been dumped in because why? Because is it because Joel's a bad guy? No, it's because that's the job of the CEO, or that's the job of the CFO, whatever, whoever does it. Curvature Securities is the company who actually dumps the shares. But that's the job. That's the gig. This is a penny stock biotech, right? So the gig is to, in preclinical, people have been talking about lately, in preclinical stage biotech. I'm not preclinical, I'm sorry. Clinical stage biotech, preclinical. Oh God, stay out of clinical. The only thing you should be doing in preclinical biotechs is trying to scalp and get out, run away with you. Hopefully you still have your shoes on when you leave. But clinical stage biotech, remember, it's still not, people are like, oh, what happened with the earnings? Did they make any money this year? No, of course not. It's a clinical stage biotech. Of course, we didn't make any money. Do we have any debt? No. Right? We don't have any debt. We got $73 million in cash, but they didn't make any money this year. It's a clinical stage biotech company. Of course, we didn't make any money. So anyway, all right, let's talk. Okay, so we're at 33. See here, the stock is at 0.3303. Remember, okay, just to recap, it got slammed down. They tried to bring it down here to 30 cents. If you're looking at my chart, right? And they tried to force out and free up a bunch more shares to create some liquidity to try to continue to keep the stock moving down this day trend line, because you know, and they want to do that. See this blue trend line here? This blue trend line is the day trend line. It goes, and it's the top of it is at July 24th, which was the day that the stock went to $1.73 or 1.66, depending on what chart you're looking at. And so you see this blue day trend line, and for months they've been trying to force their share price underneath this blue day trend line. You can see today, looking at this chart, they're trying to do it again. It's the same story every single day. They want to force it down, and so you have to ask yourself, okay, well, why does the same thing happen every day? Why? How come it never moves? It never moves. Well, I'll tell you why. Because the same people that are forcing this stock down underneath this blue day trend line have accumulated shares while they're doing it. And what they're trying to force here is a material update. So what they're doing is they're accumulating the shares and they're forcing it down underneath this blue day trend line to create this narrative that the stock is going all the way down here. And and they're going to continue doing this to the best of their ability. And this is why they pushed it down to 30 cents, almost 30 cents the other day. They're going to continue doing this until we get a material update. Why? Because they've accumulated shares. They want to flip. The same people who are pushing the price underneath this blue trend line are ready to flip bullish. They've accumulated shares. They're ready to move. They're trying to force the material update, right? Okay, but that's not why I got on here today. So this is my price block. If you guys don't know what that is, it's pretty simple stuff. Watch a YouTube video. You mark out the first 15-minute candle. I use 15-minute candles because it's a lot less noisier than 5 or 1. So you look at this and you see that that first 15-minute candle, that's where it is. And you can tell everything by that, because look, so here's your pre-market high of the day, 34 cents, 35, doesn't matter. I don't want to go over this. This is such a waste of time. 34, 35 cents. Then you have, let's go here, bing, bing. Then you have the first 15-minute candle, and then here's the top of the first 15-minute candle. And here's where price is now. It's at 33.0. And you can tell the same thing. You can always tell by using this price box where price is going, right? And this is without making trend lines or doing any of the other stuff. It's we don't have time to do all that stuff. I don't even bother anymore because I know what's happening. Okay, so they're trying to keep pushing price underneath that blue day trend line until a material update. They're trying to force the material update because they're ready to flip bullish. They've got all their shares and they're ready to make money. Now, that brings me to the topic of today's live. Okay. So I'm going to go back over here and so that, hey guys, hey everybody on YouTube. Sorry, I've been talking, and David, Che, Vlad, can you show us the dinosaur pattern? You want to see the whole day chart? Yeah, I can go in the day. Yeah, we're going to do that anyway. So this is where it gets interesting. And it's not just interesting. This is where if you're new to trading penny stock biotech or any penny stock, right? So let's just get this out of the way. I'm sure that nobody's new here, but everyone knows that when the whole purpose of trading a stock in stock market is to raise money, right? Specifically penny stocks. The whole point for the CEO is to raise money, is to take money off the table. So here I'm gonna jump to the day chart, and let's see, and we're gonna show you everything. Someone said, "Is this the only ticker that?" No, I day trade, I swing trade, but I'm not gonna get on here and start talking about stocks that I haven't done, haven't figured out the warrants and the toxic financing and the and all that stuff. I'm not going to get on here and be like, look at me, I'm day trading. Look at this. Look, I just You know what I mean? Look, there's my stop losses there. And I talk about IXHL because this is a 2025 company. It's using CBD, THC, and synthetic psilocybin to disrupt global healthcare markets. It's so exciting, and I'm so convicted. That's why. And I've already made a shit ton of money off of it. All this money that I have in it right now is house money. So yeah, that's why I'm excited about InConnex Healthcare. Hopefully that answered your question. Here's the day chart. Okay, and this is what I want to bring up for anyone who's I hate, I don't anybody talk to me like that. I try to when I talk, I try to talk the way I want to be talked to. I don't want people to talk to me like I'm stupid. So I'll just say this. Let me go over the chart with you guys. And I'm going to show you, like, I've been here. I won't talk about any part of this chart that I wasn't here for. Okay. Let's see if I get my thing back together. You guys have seen my treasure map before. Let's get it like this. Almost there. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna have to remove this 33%. That line. Click that line. Remove. Get out of here. Get out of here. This I had this, but I'm losing it. Bye. What happened? There it is. Ding. Okay, it's gone. All right, so here we are. Let's see if I'm trying to get a little thing. Okay, once it's, I'm probably getting everybody nauseous. Everyone on TikTok. So what I'm looking at here is the chart. So this is what we're talking about, the chart. So I got in this. This is what I want to talk to you guys about. Okay. So as you can see, in Q4 of 2025, which was April 1st to June 30th, the company bought back their warrants, which were two $12 million tranches that cost them $24 million. How did they do that, Brian? And that, now that I'll go back to this, I'll go back to the chat. So you want to ask me how they did that, right? And then to the guy's question who said, is this the only stock you trade? You're married to one ticker, man, right? Okay. To answer your question, here's the reasons why. When you raise $48 million in Q4 and you buy back your warrants, what does that signal to you? Well, to me, it signaled buy 100,000 shares at 18 cents. That's what it signaled to me. And here's what the reason why I want to get distracted here. I want to help people. And so in order to help people, I'm going to have to focus. So I'm not answering questions right now. I'm just going to try to focus on what my goal is to help people understand what's about to happen. Okay. So we're looking at this chart. They bought back the warrants. The chart started to coil, and if you're a swing trader, you know what coiling means. It means a big move up or a big move down is coming, right? So once they bought back those warrants, Joel started talking about how he has this drug, IXHL 42X. It's the first ever sleep apnea drug. It's an oral medication. You know, at the time I was kind of swing trading and day trading, or not swing trading. I was day trading it, taking thousands of dollars off the table every day. Not every day, but for a few days before, and never really taking the stock seriously. I found it in the pre-market movers. And, you know, it's, if you Google pre-market movers, if you want to day trade. And I jumped in, it had tons of volatility. I scalped it like 1 or 2 days in a row. And anyway, and then I came back and I saw that they had bought back the warrants. And I thought, wow, that's pretty bullish to buy back your warrants. The warrants would have executed or exercised 347 million shares. For some reason, some strange reason, that's the exact amount of shares we have. Well, now it's 346 million. So once that happened, I took a long position at 18 cents, bought 100,000 shares. None of this matters. And I held them it felt like forever. And right here, all the way through Q4, into July, holding. And at that time, so in this time frame, they pinned the price curvature securities between 18 and 21.60. That was the VWAP to buy the warrants back. They bought the warrants back. They raised $48 million. We didn't find that out until later. But I held and I held and I held and I held. And then we saw a move here. Oh, God, get out of here. What is this ad here? And then we see this move. And right around here in July, and it goes to, and so my 18-cent position went to like 40%. And then we're getting closer and closer to the 24th, the phase 2 results. And then it makes this big move all the way up here to 166. And everyone thinks it's going to keep moving. Oh, by the way, I dumped half of my 100,000 shares at 40 cents. I took my cost back, and I've never paid for a single share since. Okay. I then took the 50,000 shares that I had, held them, and watched the price go all the way up here to where I made a lot of money. And then when it started moving back down again here on this red candle, you'll see. So basically what happened was they dumped millions of shares here. So when that happened, when price got down here to about $1.15, I sold all my 50,000 shares, and I made the money that I have now invested in the stock. I invested back into the stock on August 26th. This is all confusing. It's not the reason why I came on here today. I want to show you these very important things. Okay, we're going by evidence now. Okay, and this is what I want to show you about the company, the stock, and what you can expect. So we saw that IXHL 42X phase 2 top line results came out. Boom, stock catalyst. Stock goes up here, reports amazing results, goes all the way up here, and the company dilutes the stock. Whenever you see red waterfalls like this, this is dilution. They dilute, they dump millions of shares. We're going to find out later on that they did, and then it's kind of stabilizes over here, and then what happens here? Well, August 26th, they released that out of nowhere that the general anxiety drug PSX-001 is a successful phase 2 trial as well. It's super efficient and safe. So what happens? The same thing. Big boom, big dump. Okay, so I've identified for you guys now. If you're new to the stock, if you're not new to the stock, this is evidence. This is not me assuming this happened. This is not me guessing. This happened. It's in the filings. All right, go to Edgar, SEC, search IXHL. You'll see all of this, all the information. I'm gonna lay it out for you in a second. So you had this big boom for IXHL 42X, the obstructive sleep apnea drug. Company dumps millions and millions of shares. August 26th, again, the general anxiety drug, stock goes up. He didn't even wait this time. He didn't even wait. He just dumped millions and millions of shares again, right? Then they say the last time that they diluted was August 28th, which is right here. You see this red candle here. And I forgot the update. I think it was like there was some sort of material update that happened. I think it was like the buyback or something like that or whatever. I don't know. That came out at this date. And what did they do? Another 8K, another big dilution event, right? And then the company says that they haven't diluted since, right? They said that in the 10K and then in the 10Q, right? K is for annual, Q is for quarterly. These are the quarters. So we find out here in our 10Q, they say that they haven't diluted since then. Okay, that brings me to today's discussion. Okay, I don't know if I'm sharing that with you. Okay, that brings me to today's discussion. I'll take a quick couple of questions before I bring the discussion. So the whole point of this, guys, is to show you that what we're up against. So, and with that said, here's what we're going to talk about. So I did a bunch of research, and I wanted to try to just get everything out of the way and stick right to the facts. And here are the facts. So the IXHL's behavior over the last year, the stock has moved in clear cycles based on PR releases, right? We all agree with that. Every meaningful spike has aligned with the catalyst, a short-term reduction in dilution, and a retail-driven momentum burst. Excuse me. The CEO behavior patterns. Long periods of silence before major PRs. Right? Historically, any fluff PR has been diluted into weakness. Right now, no new dilution without board shareholder approval, which changes the setup. Dilution mechanics historically suppressed the share price immediately after PRs. Okay, IXL dilution historically suppressed the share price immediately after PRs. So you guys see what I'm getting at here, right? So what I'm on here to do today is to warn any of you that might have a decent position to get ready for a material update and a material event. I'm not telling you to sell your shares. I'm telling you, out of the kindness of my heart, I do not want you to get stuck holding this stock if it pumps to like, $1, $1.50, $1.75. Take profit. Take your cost back, please, because they will dump the rest of that $27 million in shares that are left. Remember, we raised $73 million, right, in cash out of $100 million at the market. What does that leave? That leaves 26.3 or 20, let's call it 27. That leaves $27 million. Okay, here's the point I'm going to make. That leaves $27 million of the $100 million at the market that is left right now for them to deploy whenever they want. Okay. Yes, to everyone else, to all the bears, anyone else in here that any trolls. Yes, there are still 452 million shares available in the original 800 million share shelf. Oh my God. Clinical stage penny stock biotech, people. This is totally normal. Clinical stage penny stock biotech. Okay. So we have a $100 million at the market active. What does that mean? That means they only can access up to $100 million. They've used $73 million. They have $27 million that they're allowed to raise without accessing the shelf registration again, which they need a vote for from the board or even shareholders. So max dilution on the next update, which is going to be the FDA updates. We all know the next update that's coming are FDA updates for both drugs, IXHL 42X and PSX001. That catalyst is going to make the stock move. The company has a history. I've shown it to you. I'm doing this because I care about you guys. I'm doing this to help you. You've seen what happens on the chart. None of what I'm saying is I'm not guessing. I'm not telling you things that I think is gonna. I'm telling you what the evidence shows you, what they've done. Every 8K, every material update, they are going to dump the rest of those 27 million shares, right? But it's not a big deal. Don't freak out, man. It's not a big deal. You just have to learn how to trade a clinical stage penny stock biotech, because $27 million worth of shares at 0.3250, 32.5 cents. Guess how many shares that is? Anyone? Any math majors? 82 million shares. Now, at 32 cents, where we're at now, 82 million shares, that's a fucking nut. Ooh, that's a nightmare. I can't curse. Not allowed to curse on YouTube or TikTok. Not allowed. Okay, so at 32.5 cents a share, if they dumped 80 million shares right now, that would be the rest of the $27 million. The $100 million at the market would be complete. but that would be a nightmare. But guess what? They're not going to do that, right? Of course not. So the material update comes, right? Here, let's make a fantasy prediction, okay? We all know that the next material update is going to be FDA guidelines and guidance and whatever for IHL 42X and PSX 001. They're going to tell that they said it in the filings. I'm not guessing, guys. It says it in the filings. What the here? Let me just look up. I'm just going to read you exactly what it says. And then I'm going to take questions in a second, or discussions or whatever. And I want to thank everybody for supporting me and listening and watching. And hopefully you're going to learn something today, or I'm hopefully helping you in some way, shape, or form avoid. Look, this is a penny stock, a clinical stage penny stock biotech. You've got to trade the pops. If you don't, you're going to get stuck holding it forever, or you're going to take a loss. You know what I mean? So here's what I wanted to say. These are the facts. These are the facts. Let me see. Where's my profile? There it is. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to get right to you guys in a minute. I just want to knock this stuff out. I want to knock this thesis out, and then I'm going to get right to you guys. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, here it is. Okay, so the next catalyst, it says it. FDA end of phase 2 meeting outcomes for both IHL 42X, PSX 001. That's the next catalyst. That's the next material update. The company already confirmed they will issue a market update when the FDA interactions conclude. So, A, we know that's coming. Okay, there is a catalyst coming. B, there is $27 million worth of shares, regardless of whether they dump them at 32 cents, which they would never, or $1. If it's $1, it's how many shares? 27 million shares, right? If it's 32 cents, 80 million shares. If it's $2, 14 million shares. You guys see what I'm getting at? Do you see where I'm getting at, guys? Yes? Okay, we'll move on. The dilution risk now is low. The at the market has not been used since August 28th. No remaining warrant overhang. They already issued 153 million shares in quarter one. 153 million shares in Q1. Remember, Q1 is not, anyway, you see it on my chart that you guys are all looking at right now. They already, let me make sure I have the chart looking nice for you guys so you can see the whole thing. So that's quarter one. You guys see that? Bing, bing, bing. I don't know why I'm making noises like a weirdo. I'm sorry. I apologize for the weird. It's not a game show. Okay. So there it is. All right. That's quarter one, July 1st to September 30th. This is quarter two. So quarter one of 2026 is July 1st to September 30th. Okay. Let me go back to what I was saying, and I will shut up, I promise, in a second. Okay. Dilution risk right now is low. Okay. So let's just quickly recap. There is a catalyst coming, and they've told us what it's going to be. It's going to be the FDA end of phase 2 meeting outcomes for both. End of phase 2 meeting outcome. End of phase 2 meeting outcome. End of phase 2 meeting outcome. FDA end of phase 2 meeting outcome. That's the next catalyst. It's coming. IHL 42X, PSX 001. Separately or together, we don't know. The company already confirmed they will issue a market update when FDA interactions conclude. Dilution risk now, low. Why? The ATM has not been used since August 28th. No remaining warrant overhang. There's no warrants, no toxic financing. They already issued 153 million shares in quarter one. The big dilution event is over with. Future dilution risk, moderate. The at the market still exists. There's 452 million shares unused. Before you're like, oh my God, I gotta sell. This is crazy. I didn't know that. Holy cow. Phase 3 trials are expensive. A raise is possible later, but not needed today. Now, again, for anybody that doesn't understand this, 452 million of a April shelf registration of a total of 800 million, right? So of the total of 800 million shares, not dollars, shares, 800 million shares in April, right? That's been approved. That's a shelf. Okay. What is a shelf? A shelf is a place where where equity exists. Well, it doesn't exist. Where it's a shelf. It's on a shelf. It's allowed. You're allowed to use it, but you got to vote on it. You got to vote. You got to vote. So what did they vote on? They voted on $100 million worth of that. $100 million of 800 million shares. That's all they have the access to right now without a vote. Okay. How much of that $100 million of the 800,000 shares have they used? Well, it looks like over 153 million shares have been used and $73 million, leaving $27 million and as many as, I'm not even going to say it because I don't want to freak anybody out. If they dump 27 million shares right now, which they would never do, at 32 cents a share, you're looking at 80 million extra shares to the 346 million, which is what, 450 million, 6 million or something like that, right? Never going to do that. If the stock pops on this FDA update, right? Because remember, next catalyst, I need a chalkboard. Next catalyst, FDA end of phase 2 meeting outcomes for both IXHL 42X, PSX 001, 2 drugs, whether or not they happen at the same time or not, those are the catalysts. The stocks are going to go up. All right. It's going to happen. This is going to happen. You're in a clinical stage biotech. You have to trade these pops. Okay. Now, I don't know what that means for you. It might mean calling your broker and saying, okay, well, I've got 20,000 shares. Let me take 5,000 of them and call my broker and make sure that I have a good to cancel limit sell order set at 150 a share, or whatever. Just take some profit, take your cost back. Don't get stuck when they dump the other $27 million worth of shares and they stop the pump. Because what's going to happen is the stock price is going to explode briefly. And Joel, in his infinite greed, not greed, he has to do it. I gotta delete that. Can we rewind that, cut that, take 2. Joel has to raise money. That's the job of a clinical stage biotech. They're going to complete that $100 million at the market. The $27 million capacity that's left of that $100 million is going to be used in one of these catalyst updates, right? Okay, we're clear on that. The dilution risk is low. It hasn't been used since August 28th, this and that and the other thing, blah, 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 blah. The ATM still exists. Okay, future dilution risk, moderate. At the market still exists. 452 million authorized shares unused. That's not part of the $100 million, right? Phase 3 trials are expensive. So what are you getting at? What's the whole point of this, Brian? It's to show you on the chart that they do a material update and they dilute, and another material update and they dilute. And this has served us as shareholders very well, because we now have $73 million in cash and enough money to run operations for the next year, hopefully, barring any lawsuits or other things, or but once we get to phase 3, we have to start marketing and advertising and making commercials and stuff like that. So it's not that much money. You're going to have another 452 million authorized shares, not dollars, available to use for next year, right? There's $26.7 million left in the $100 million at the market. That's what they can use on the next material update. I also hate people who do this. You ever see girls who do that? They do that on YouTube. So I apologize. No more fingers. Okay. So to be clear, 26.7 million left in the 100 million at the market. That's the capacity that they have the authority to use willy-nilly whenever they want. and they can dump them right now, and it would be 80 million shares. Or they could dump it at $1, it would be 26 million shares. Or they could dump it when it goes to $2, it'll be 13 million shares. You get my drift? Okay, so now that we're clear, this is how, like I said at the beginning, I told you guys, I want to help you. Okay, I want you to understand how to trade this. Okay, so we all know that this is going to happen. They're going to complete the capacity for that $100 million market. Why would they do that? I don't understand. Why would they do that? Well, they don't need to do that. They said they wasn't going to do that. And that, I don't know why I'm talking about like a hillbilly. But why would they do that? Well, this is why they would do it. Because until they complete the at the market capacity of the 100 million, they can't access the shelf or make another filing to get more money, right? So of course they're going to do it. So what I came on here to tell you today is learn how to trade the pops in clinical stage biotechs. I'm doing it again. I'm doing the clapping. I'm just as bad as these Gen Z fat girls that are over here going like this. Whatever they do. Learn how to trade the pops, guys. You see it on the chart. I've shown you on the chart. I've shown you the pops and dilution. Pop, dilution, pop, dilution. I'm giving you the numbers. $26.7 million left in the $100 million at the market. Right now, if they dumped it, it would be 82 million shares. If they dumped it at $1, it would be 26.7 million shares. If they dumped it at $2, it would be 13 million shares. Do you see what I'm saying? And historically, they have a very itchy trigger finger. What I mean by that is they don't wait for it to go up to $2. They'll dump it at 90 cents, as we saw with the general anxiety drug TSX-001 August 26th update. That's what they did. It was at 84 cents. Stock goes up 10 cents on the news at 4:30 in the morning that they have this amazing general anxiety drug, synthetic psilocybin, amazing results. It's safe, it's effective. And what happens? They dump millions and millions of shares into the pop, right? So this is the behavior of this company. And you ask yourself, well, why should I even be invested in this company then? Because this is what we do, man. This is the gig. This is the gig. This is it. This is it right here. This is what you do. You trade these pops, okay? Because if you don't, what's really happening? Let's zoom out and look. Let's look at what's really happening. See, so okay, if you're not trading these pops on these clinical stage biotechs, remember, nobody's out to get you, right? Nobody knows what you're going to do. No, it's up to us to trade these correctly. Because if you buy in now and you take a huge position and you set a good to cancel limit sell order at 90 cents or $1 or $1.50, you're going to make a shit ton of money. You're going to make a lot of money. If you don't buy anything at all right now, like, I don't know about that stock. There's a lot of shares. There's a lot of shares. A lot of outstanding shares. 347 shares, 6 million shares outstanding. Listen, I don't know about that. First oral drug for sleep apnea. That's a good idea. Oh, that's kind of a big idea. I could get in here cheap. But you know what? I'll wait. I mean, let me just wait a little while and we'll see. And we'll see what happens. And then you wait, right? And then what happens? They release these material updates, right, on the drugs. The stock shoots. Oh boy, it's over $1. Oh, I better buy 10,000 shares. And then you buy in at $10,000 and they dump the other $27 million worth of shares. And you just bought in at the top and it goes down. That's the whole purpose of it. I'm doing it again. That's the whole purpose of it. Why are we talking like that? Why do we all do the same thing? It's 2025. Everyone's doing this. They're doing the hands, right? But that's the whole purpose of this discussion today, is to remind everyone how to trade these pops. It's you want to get it now. This is the floor. You buy a bunch of shares now. The material update comes. You have your good to cancel tiered limit sell orders. You tier them out. So if you buy, dude, at 35 cents a share, buy a gang of shares. Buy 50,000 shares and sell 10,000 at a time. You see what I'm getting at? It's not financial advice. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but set your good to cancel tiered limit sell orders now, because you're going to wake up tomorrow, one day, and the stock is going to be at $1.25, and you're going to go, oh, wow. Oh, look at this. Oh, well, it's going. It's going. And then you're going to go get a cup of coffee, and you're going to come back, and it's like, how is it at 30 cents again? Because you didn't set your good to cancel tiered limit sell orders, right? And I'm not saying sell your whole position. I'm saying make your money, take your profit back, okay? All right, future dilution risk, moderate. ATM still exists, 452 million shares unused. Remember, phase 3 next year, they can access that shelf, but they need a vote. They have to vote. The board has to vote, and possibly the shareholders need to agree on that. What can be really bullish as well with another material update would be when you use all 26 million shares through this massive pump on these updates. Say they dumped the $26.7 million worth of shares left in that $100 million at the capacity. When the stock is at $2, it's 13 million shares, but there's billions of people buying. You have $1 billion share, $1 billion, 2 billion in volume. That's nothing. And on top of that, during the pump, the 3 or 4 day pump to return all the shares, the market makers start returning their shares. All the bears start returning their shares because now they're toast, right? And then on top of that, while all that's happening, they release a PR that says $100 million at the market complete. No new dilution without shareholder approval. And it keeps going. Now we're going into the, dollars. Financial strength, 73.3 million in cash versus only 1.6 million in current liabilities. Strong position heading into FDA discussions. The bottom line, the next FDA meeting results plus development plan, dilution pressure's off for now, but phase 3 will eventually need capital. Okay. So that's my take on this, guys. I hope somebody today or reminded someone what we're doing here and how to trade clinical stage penny stock, biotech penny stocks. That's it. That's all I got what I needed to stay out of the way. And now I'm going to go into the chat and say what's up to everybody. Okay. Somebody said I can't. It's going to be bought out. Okay. Let me ask you this. Hello to everyone. First of all, hello to everyone. Thanks for the discussion. Let's keep it respectful. And everyone who's saying buyout, let's talk about this. I agree. Nobody really knows what's going to happen, right? Let's just get that out of the way. Rosie, Maria, Vlad, Illuminati, everyone, hello. Now let's just say this. So if you're running a track race, right? One of these races where they have that thing, you got to hand the thing to somebody, and you're running a track race, and then you get the thing, and you're running, and you're at the finish line with the thing. And it's your turn. You're the last person, and you're at the finish line, and you have $73 million in cash, and you have the ability to raise $1 billion easily and put your own drug to market. Why would you take a buyout? Right? So buyout, in my opinion, isn't even a conversation unless the stock runs into the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, $70 range. Once it gets to that point, then a buyout conversation is worth having. What's the point of selling your global disrupting sleep apnea drug for peanuts? They're not in this. Do you think these guys are just trying to make a couple $1 million? They're in this to be billionaires. Why would you take a buyout? I don't get it. I don't understand. Oh, buyout. Here's the thing. We have to try to zoom out. And this is why I call my channel Pray, Trade, Repeat. This is why when I trade, I meditate, I pray, so I get a clear understanding of kind of what's happening. And I kind of zoom out. So look, to try to zoom out, why would a company take $10 a share and just sell their assets? They have 83% apnea hypopnea index, right? No suicidal effects, They have basically the safest alternative to the CPAP machine. Do you think they're going to take $10? Why would you take $10? I don't think there's going to be a buyout anytime soon. A buyout would be the best case for shareholders to make quick money, yes. But if you can try to zoom out and put yourself in the perspective of the company, why would you sell your company for $10 a share? Or why would you sell your company at all? You just raised $73 million. You've got enough money to get through phase 2, possibly phase 3. And you have a shelf that has 452 million shares on it, which means that you could potentially raise another $1 billion if it goes to $3 a share and market it all yourself. Not to mention, they've already done the manufacturing and production of the drug. They don't have to create and manufacture the drug. It's done. So why would you take $10 a share? So, all right. 125 is a dream at this point. Okay. All right. Anyway, I just wanted to thank everybody who came on today, and who this one who said, Brian, want to know what you DCA? I am DCAing. I have another account. I have more shares in another account. I have 50,000 shares in one account, and I have a Fidelity account I keep buying shares every day, of course, because I know how to trade clinical stage penny stock biotechs. And I hope that anyone who has come into the chat or watch this or will watch the live later, I don't think I'm going to teach you guys anything. I don't think I know more than anyone else. I just want to come on here to just remind people of the evidence, the evidence that's in front of us, which is the filings. If you don't know, it's Edgar, sec.edgar.gov. Search for IXHL, read the filings, put them in AI. It'll give you a general idea. Just ask the questions. And you see on the chart here, you see material update, boom, stock explodes, dump millions of shares. Material update, stock explodes, dump millions of shares. Material update, stock explodes, dump millions of shares. Material update, stock goes up a little bit. Coiling for since September 30th, coiling at the floor, 33 cents. Get a huge position right now, not financial advice. And then once you got your position the way you want it, call your broker if you have to, or set your, I don't know, I don't use Robinhood or any kind of weird apps. I use banks to trade. I call my broker and I tell my broker, sell 10,000 at $1.20, good to cancel. Set an order for another 10,000 at $1.80, good to cancel. Set another order for $2.30, good to cancel. Leave the rest. Because I know that I'm going to take money on the next pop before they can dump millions of shares again. That's the whole purpose of this talk today. I hope that I help somebody. I'm not assuming I know better than anyone else. That's it for me today. Thank you all for joining me on both TikTok and YouTube. Also, if you want to support me or my channel and help me continue to make videos, I have a PrayTradeRepeat.com. I have these, I work really hard. Yesterday it took me 7 hours to make the Pray Trade Repeat shirt. It says Pray Trade Repeat across it. There's other shirts and hoodies and stuff like that. So if you'd like to support me, go to PrayTradeRepeat.com and get yourself a t-shirt. And if you don't like it, I'll get you another one. Just let me know. Send me an email. Also, my email is PrayTradeRepeat@gmail.com. You guys can ask me any questions. I'm happy to reach out. People reach out to me all the time, and I will sit down and do the work and answer your question and give you all of the research. That's it for me today, you guys. Have a great day. Thank you so much for joining the stream, and best of luck. I think the material update's coming. Who knows when it's coming? But they told us it's going to be end of phase 2 FDA updates for IHL 42X and for PSX 001. We have $27 million left in the $100 million at the market capacity. So during these pumps from these updates, they're going to dump the rest of those shares so that they can access the shelf for phase 3 for marketing, for advertising. Now, this may not be what people want to hear, but this is the truth. This is trading penny stock biotechs. Last thing I'll say one last time, take your position, get your position ready. You know, it's like loading your guns, man. Load your guns, and then call your broker, set your good to cancel tiered limit sell orders. So when you wake up 4:30 in the morning, open your eyes, you're like, $1.30. Oh my God. You know, and you look at your account and you've got a shit ton of money in there. Anyway, that's it. Hopefully, hopefully that helped. And yeah, PrayTradeRepeat.com. Buy a t-shirt, help me, support it so I can continue to make videos and updates and stuff like this. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for the comments. Thank you so much, David. Thank you to all you guys. Feel free to comment in the live comments once the live is over, and I'll pin your comments. Thank you so much for your support. See you guys later. PrayTradeRepeat.com. PrayTradeRepeat.com.